Hey, it's me, ProJared, and this is Magic the Gathering Online, and they've got a special event going right now, which you can see right over here. It's called Battle of the Plains, which is something I hadn't seen before, and it's really cool, and I wanted to show you guys that because I did get to do a play of it. So in this, it's a Phantom Swiss League in that you don't get to keep any of the cards, but what basically the way it works is that it's sealed, but when you enter, you get to pick a plane of existence, and you get 6 boosters representing that plane to make your deck out of, which is awesome. So you can play Zendikar, Ravnica, Mirrodin, Innistrad, and Dominaria. So for example, if you take Innistrad, you would get a booster from Innistrad, Shadows over Innistrad, some other ones that I can't remember right now. But anyway, I'm going to go with Dominaria, just because that is the plane of existence from the original Magic the Gathering sets, and that's what I grew up with and love. So I'm getting a lot of Time Spiral, a lot of plane shift, a lot of time shifted Chaos ones, some Onslaught in there, and I can show you the deck that I made from that. Here's everything that I got. Let me tell you, this is very difficult to put a deck together because I'm not super familiar with a lot of cards, and because it's one booster from 6 different sets, there's not a whole lot of synergy that you can really make from these. And I had a lot of really good cards in here that I liked a lot, and I tried to put together just a solid deck, not amazing, because instinctively I look at this and I'm seeing I've got a lot of red and a lot of black, so I think I could really make something decent out of that. But I didn't see any super strong win conditions that would really help me bring home the game. Like the Mace Hill Histrodon is pretty good, but for 7 mana, I know I can do something better. So I even had the a black-red dual color land that I could have used, just playing that black-red. But I did see one card for sure that I knew was going to go in any deck no matter what I built, and that was down here, the Tribal Golem. He is a 4/4 creature for 6 mana, and depending on what kind of other creature you have in play, he gets boosted up. So if you have a beast, he has trample. If you have a goblin in play, he has haste. If you have a soldier, first strike, wizard, flying, or a zombie, you can pay 1 to regenerate him. Like, that is just a very good card, and I knew that this is my win condition. I looked at him and said, what can I do to make him win? My first thought was trample. Trample is really good, takes out creatures, makes them a threat, gets some damage through. Unfortunately, this is all the green I had, which is not a whole lot of beasts. Let's see, I've got a total of what? One beast. So sadly, I knew green wasn't gonna happen at all, even though I really liked some of the green creatures and spells in here, but I knew that wasn't gonna work. Couldn't do that. Well, the other option was we could look at red. If I get goblins on play, he has just haste. And that's not really that useful. That's good for 1 turn, and that's it. And I'm not super crazy about the goblins that I did have available. Now there's also the zombies to make them regenerating, which I had a few, was it like 2 zombies in here total? Yeah, it's 2, 3, yeah, a 3rd zombie. So not a whole lot, so I just went with some of the more basic stuff. Get wizards to make them flying, because that evasion is really good. And get some soldiers to also make them first strike, because making a first strike flying is that much scarier. So that was my goal. So I have a lot of soldiers in here and a lot of wizards to try to get him flying with first strike. I also have this Image Crafter Wizard, which allows me to tap him and choose another creature to make him another type until end of turn. So with him, I can also say, make one of my creatures into a goblin to give him haste, or into a beast to give him trample. So I had a little bit of synergy there. Plus, with the Riptide Director, for each wizard I have in play, I get to draw a card, which is very powerful. Even Merchant of Secrets comes in, is a wizard, which sets up the Tribal Golem, and lets me draw a card. And for white creatures, not nearly as exciting. I had like the Revered Dead, which is a spirit soldier that could regenerate. So with that regenerate, I can keep him in play to make sure Tribal Golem gets that first strike. Also had the Saltfield Recluse. I just like the fact that it gives a target creature -2/-0 to end of turn, since I don't have any control or any removal in this deck whatsoever. So just getting that -2/-0 was super helpful. And the Stormfront Riders is one of the better soldiers I have in here. A 4/3 flying that returns 2 creatures back to my hand when he comes into play. And then anytime that happens, I get a 1/1 white soldier. So that's 3 white soldiers into play once I cast him. And then I also got the Crowd Favorites. It casts 7 mana, yeah, but it's a 4/4 that can spend 4 to pump himself +0/+5 until end of turn, or spend 4 to tap target creature. And if I got 7 mana in play, there's a good chance I can tap target creature once or twice per turn very, very quickly. So I also really like that. So that was my deck, and I had some really good games with this deck, and I wanted to show you how it went down. So here we have the very first match versus Hadouken, and this is my opening hand. I've got that Tribal Golem, which is exactly what I wanted, and I've already got 5 mana. So feeling really great about that. I've got practically a guaranteed way of getting that Tribal Golem online by turn 6. And I've got the Blind Phantasm, which is just a 2/3 solid creature, so I do have a turn 3 play to help defend myself. Now if you're wondering why that card looks so weird, it's because that's one of the Future Sight cards. So this is a set where they included some Magic cards on how they felt the game might look in the future, which just ended up being these like weird designs. I also got this Dragon Scales, which is another very good enchantment. I played a lot of auras in my deck to make up for a lack of removal. So give a enchanted creature +1/+2 and vigilance, and then if it's in the graveyard, I can instantly put this onto a creature that costs 6 mana or more. He cycles an Elvish Aberration, which says to me maybe he doesn't have a whole lot of mana in hand, because that is a huge mana geek right there. And he drops the Death's Head Buzzard, a 2/1 flying that when it dies causes other creatures to get -1/-1 until end of turn. But I've got that 3 mana, allowing me to play that Blind Phantasm. And he's going to be coming in and getting damage in on me very early. But I also drew the Griffin Guide last turn, allowing me to play that and make my Blind Phantasm into a 4/5 flying. And if for some reason Blind Phantasm were to die, I would get a 2/2 Griffin afterwards. So just a lot of value right there, because if I could take him out, even if it dies, I still have a 2/2 defender. But now I'm swinging back for 4. He stays aggressive here, swings back at me for another 2 damage, and then plays the Vitaspore Thallid, which is a 1/1 creature that builds spores every single time on his turn, which he can use to give creatures haste or create a 1/1 green sapperling creature. Now I just drew the Pentarch Ward, which is going to help me a lot because I can play that on that Blind Phantasm. Nope, play the Revered Dead first. So now, not only is he 5/7 flying, he's also got Vigilance. I'm sorry, I gave him the Griffin Guide first, but I've also got that Pentarch Ward. So with him being Vigilant, I can attack for 5 and still have a defender ready and stop his Death's Head Buzzard from doing anything. Plus, if he attacks the Death's Head Buzzard and I block with it, it'll kill the Vitaspore Thallid, and I can regenerate Revered Dead. So he plays nothing on his turn, which means I am in great position. There's those Stormfront Riders, just got them drawn up. I'm going to play that Pentarch Ward because I want to give my Blind Phantasm protection from black. So now he's got protection from black. Death's Head Buzzard can no longer block. I get to draw an extra card because I also play Pentarch Ward, and now I've got guaranteed 5 damage going in, and he doesn't have a way of blocking it. I don't know if he's going to have a whole lot of ways to defend himself against other flying creatures, and that's what I'm hoping for. And it turns out he doesn't because he concedes right here, and that's the first game. Alright, let's load up the next one. And here we go, game 2 versus Hadouken. Opening hand. It's not great. Yeah, that's a lot of mana, and I do have a 3-drop, but that 3-drop isn't a creature. And I already have 1 win, and I'm not crazy about this. If I had a single creature in here, I would have kept it, but just having an aura, it's not good enough. So I'm gonna take the mulligan. Oh, and it's worse. It's much worse. Now I have only creatures and auras, and without any mana like that, I can't keep this under good conscience. So sadly, I'm gonna have to mulligan down to 5. And this hand, it's playable. I got 2 there, so I get to scry 1, and I got plenty of low-cost cards. Echo Tracer, you're not gonna help me much. I'm gonna put you at the bottom. So this one, not a great start just based on bad draws. But I can slowly get things back into play so long as I get 3 mana. And I can play any of my 3 drops. He starts off with the Divided Spore Thallid. And I did get my 3rd mana, so I'm going to be able to start dropping some creatures pretty soon here. Oh, he plays the Ether Flame Wall, which is a really good wall. It's a 0/4 defender, and it can block shadow creatures, and it can pump himself just to help destroy anything it blocks. And he comes in and attacks with the Divided Spore Thallid, so I'm going to take 1. That's fine. Play another land, and I got 3. Allow me to play that Merchant of Secrets. It's just a 1/1, but more importantly, it'll stop that Divided Spore Thallid from attacking, and I'll get an extra draw to make up for my really crappy opening hand. I also got another one of my best cards in the deck, which is the Draining Whelk. It's a 6 mana creature with flash and counters a spell when it enters the battlefield. And it gets X +1/+1 counters on him equal to the countered spell's converted mana cost. So it's a very strong counter, and it just buffs him up into a big flyer. Let's see if I can actually make that work in this game though. And we got the Shifting Sliver. Not super exciting. But I got 3 mana, so I can play cards. So I can play that target creature gets -2/-0 till end of turn, so stop some of his damage and just buy myself some time. I'm still in it. Other cards in my hand right now, I have the Leaden Fists, which gives enchanted creature +3/+3, but more importantly, it makes it so they can't untap during their untap step. So I kind of want to use that more as control rather than buffing myself, or if I had a strong defender. So if he's got something threatening and taps it, I'm going to use that to keep him tapped. Now he played the Stormbind, which is scary. You can pay 2 mana, discard a random card, and deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So he could very quickly start taking out a lot of my creatures just by discarding cards. I'll play the Image Crafter. I'm still not getting more mana, but I do have a wide board at least to buy myself some time. And I got that Tribal Golem in hand. So if I can miraculously draw only mana from here on out and get the Tribal Golem online, I'll be okay, because he'll be a flying first strike. He's paying a lot of mana though, and brings back that Elvis Aberration. So now he's got a 4/5 that can also give himself mana. So he's just ramping up really hard over there. So even if I did play the Tribal Golem, he could easily just use Stormbind to discard cards to take him out. And I drew crowd favorites, so I've got all 3 of my super expensive cards in my hand right now, and just no mana to cast anything. I got that Griffin Guide, so I could make one of my creatures into a 3/3 flying and try to attack that way, but that just leaves me open for aggression from that Elvish Aberration, which he taps for mana. 5 more, 6 more. That's 9 total mana. Oh lord. What is happening? He plays the Riptide Replicator. And he played it for 5. So now he can pay 4 mana, tap Riptide Replicator, and he gets himself a 5/5 zombie. A 5/5 black zombie. So at the end of his turn, I'm actually going to cast Leaden Fist and tap down Elvish Aberration. Just to get rid of that threat and to make sure that you can't use that for mana anymore. Oh my god, a 4th mana! Let's get another creature out, I guess. Just keep myself defended until I get my big things online. Hopefully that'll work. That's my plan right now. It's not a great plan, but that's my plan. He also has 6 counters on Divided Spore Thallid, so you could very easily just turn those into 2 more 1/1 creatures. He plays the Smoke Spew Invoker, which for 8 mana he can give target creature -3/-3 until end of turn. And thankfully I tapped down Elvish Aberration, so it's a little bit harder for him to activate that ability right now, but for as long as this game is going, it's not terribly far away. And there we go. He just activated the Stormbind, discarded a card, and took out my Shifting Sliver. Fine with me. A 5th mana. Oh my gosh, it's so close. It's so close. I only need 1 more mana, and then I can do things. So on his turn, draws a card, doesn't attack, does nothing, and passes back to me. And then, there we go. 6 mana. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I can do it. I can play Tribal Golem and get Tribal Golem online. But he has all of his lands untapped right now with that Stormbind. So you could very, very easily just drop his hand, pay 4 mana, and kill Tribal Golem, and there's nothing I can do about it. So because of that, I don't think it's worth playing Tribal Golem right now. Instead, I'm going to keep that 6 mana up, pass back to him, and hopefully he casts something large that I can counter with Draining Welk and get myself a decent flying creature. Instead, he spends the mana to activate Riptide Replicator, and he gets himself a 5/5 zombie. This face down card, that's a 5/5 zombie. That's 5 damage, 5 toughness, and scary. So naturally, he attacks with that. Now I'm still at 19 life, so I don't feel the need to quite block yet. What I will do is completely forget to give him -2 to -0 till end of turn, because I'm very good at Magic. And he didn't cast anything, so I wasted an entire turn last time. But I now have 7 mana, so I could play Crowd Favorites and try to use that to bait out his Stormbind, which he responds by messing with my head. He doesn't do anything. Cute. Real cute. But at the end of his turn, he's going to make a Sapperling. 2 Sapperlings. I'm going to move this over here for a second just so you can see he's also got 2 more Sapperlings. Activates Riptide Replicator again to make yet another 5/5 zombie. So now his board is looking pretty wide here. I'll move this down here just to keep stuff out of the way. And then he plays the Sting Scrounger. So when he enters the battlefield, return target creature your opponent controls to its owner's hand. And that's my 4/4. And then he makes another zombie. Oh no. I don't even think I could stop all this if I wanted to. Yep, comes in, swings for 5. He sacrificed one of his Sapperlings to make one of his 5/5 zombies into haste. So he's attacking me for 15. I'll give him -2, -0 till end of turns, and I see me for 13, which means I can have Merchant of Secrets block. He's done his job. I only need 1 wizard in play to make Tribal Golem flying. And I gotta hope for an amazing draw here. And it's a Plains. Yep, not gonna happen here, so I will concede to him, and we'll go on to Game 3. Alright, Game 3 versus Waduk, and since I lost the last round, I do get to play first. And then hopefully I have a better starting hand, which I do. I've got 2 mana, which is fine. I have a turn 1 play and a turn 3. So I've got 2 mana, 1 of each color in hand, so I'm okay with this. So I will just start off with that Image Crafter. Not super exciting, but, you know, at least I can get something on the board. And I drew a 3rd land, which is looking very good for me. Attack with that Image Crafter. Hit him for 1. Advantage Jared. And on his turn 2, he doesn't play anything. And I just got a 4th mana, so now things are looking very up for me. Attacking again with the Image Crafter, to which he quickly flashes in this Scrib Ranger. I can't believe he has this. It's a 1/1 flash flying with protection from blue. He can also return a forest he controls into his owner's hand to untap a target creature. So he's got a 1/1 that I can't kill with Image Crafter, so he's gonna block here and just take out Image Crafter right away. So I actually played the Mistform Sea Swift, which is a 3/1 flyer, and I put it down for 3 just as a morph. Because as a 3/1 flyer, the Scrib Ranger can still block and instantly kill it, so it's a little bit more valuable to me as a morphed creature right now. But then I also have the morph option, and I can also change his creature type to a choice in my turn, which works great for that Tribal Golem. He comes and attacks the Scrib Ranger, which I'm just gonna take that one. Well, on my turn, I might as well attack for 2. Boom, there we go. And with 4 mana in play, I'm definitely going to play the Riptide Director here, because then I can use him to start drawing some cards. Sadly, he killed my other wizard, so I'm not going to get super value out of it, but this is a good option to have to just keep my tempo up. Especially since he still has 6 cards in his hand. I've only got 3, and I feel like he's barely played his bigger stuff. For example, he just solar blasted my Riptide Director. So dealing it 3 damage, getting rid of my drawer, hitting me for another 1. I'm up to 5 mana now. And I do have the Rush of Knowledge, which allows me to draw some cards based on how expensive my permanents are, like creatures. So I'm gonna attack with my Morpher, and then right at the end, we'll switch him back up into his unmorphed form so I get that 3 in there. More importantly, it'll set him up to be cost 4 mana on the field, and I'll also have the Saltfield Recluse set up. I'm basically trying to set up Rush of Knowledge right now, so that on my next turn, yep, didn't draw anything super useful, so I'm going to cast Rush of Knowledge, and thanks to Mistform's Sea Swift, draw 4 cards, which is huge, because I got some really good stuff in here. Nothing that I can play right now, but some really good stuff. And at the end of my turn, he's casting a Sprout Storm. He casted this with buyback. So because he paid the additional 3 mana, he's creating a 1/1 green Sapperling, and Sprout Storm returns to his hand for him to cast it again if he wants to. So I think he's just doing that to get himself a wide board to protect himself. Not sure what his ultimate goal is, or what his win condition is, aside from the replicator. But now I've got 7 mana over here. I'm gonna go play it safe a little bit. We'll do Merchant of Secrets, draw the extra card. Okay. Now put down the Plated Sliver, because all slivers +0/+1. So it basically comes out as a 1/2 for 1 mana. And I'll play my last 2 land here to play Lumithred Field, which is an enchantment, which gives all my creatures +0/+1. So thanks to that, I've got a lot more toughness on my side of the field, which makes me feel a little more confident about attacking with a 1/3. Which I can't imagine he'll want to block. Yeah, he doesn't. It's 1 damage. I'll get it in there while I can. And he once again casts Sprout Storm with buyback to get another Sapperling out in play. Doesn't do anything else on his turn again, which is scary. It's very scary. I don't know why that is. Ooh, there we go. Dragon Wings. Another really good aura, and I've got all this mana to play with. So I'm going to spend 7 to cast the crowd favorites. So I've got a 4/5 human soldier out there right now. And then I'll attack with the Plated Silver and the Merchant of Secrets. To which he makes another Sapperling. Does he block? Oh, he uses the Squib Ranger to block, of course. Oh, but then convokes to play Sprout Storm again. 2 Sprout Storms in a single turn. Sure, he's got 5 creatures over there, but they're all 1/1s. So how threatening could that be? Until he plays the Tombstalker. Cost 8 mana for a 5/5 flying. He wasn't able to delve it at all because he didn't have any cards in his graveyard, but that's a 5/5 flying. That's no joke. So now he's got a really big threat, and I need to find a way to get around it, which I drew exactly what would get me around it, which is the Griffin Guide. So for 3 mana, boom, now crowd favorites is a 6/7 flying. Allow me to go in and attack him for 6 in the air. And since I still have plenty of untapped mana... Oh, he doesn't block. Good. That's what I wanted. That actually works out really well. So with all his mana tapped out, he didn't have any tricks. And if he attacks with Tombstalker this turn, without anything to stop himself, I'll be able to kill him. But he does play the Clutch of Undeath, which gives target creature +3/+3 if it's a zombie. If it's not a zombie, it gets -3/-3. Well, crowd's favorite is a zombie, so he gets -3/-3. But before combat happens, I can still use his ability to pay 4 mana and tap down Tombstalker so he can't attack. And even better, on my turn, I can play the Piety Charm. which for 1 mana allows me to destroy target aura, allowing me to get rid of that clutch of undeath, so that crowd favorites is back to being a 6/7 flying. I'll tap down the Scrib Ranger. He's got no more flying protectors, allowing me to attack in air for lethal. But he returns a forest from the field into his hand to untap the Scrib Ranger, just to get one last block in there. And now he's convoking to play another Sapperling. And he successfully bought himself a turn, is what you just witnessed. So I've still got the pressure on him. Like, I am very much in control of the board right now, even though he's got 5 cards in his hand. No idea what they are and why he's not casting them. But since the crowd favorites can spend a lot of mana just to tap down, I've got enough to do that twice. There's nothing he can do. He concedes, and I win my first game of Battle of the Plains using Dominaria deck with these old-ass cards, and it was really exciting, and I really enjoyed that. So we still got 2 more matches to come, though, and you'll be seeing that in the coming days. I know I haven't done any Magic stuff in a while, and if you enjoy these kind of things, please let me know in the comments, because I love Magic. I love talking about Magic, I love showing it, I love playing it, I love streaming it. I know it's not as popular around here, but if you like it, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. Please subscribe, tweet at me, whatever. More Magic on the way. As always, thank you guys so very much for watching. See you next time!